How can we improve the sound quality in conference rooms? There are many ways of doing that, of course, but I'm going to show you a couple of ways that are pretty neat and cheap, because you're going to do some stuff anyway, so why not kill two birds with one stone, or how does the saying go? Anyway, in a conference room, let's say you've already dealt with the ceiling, because that's usually the number one parameter that you should fix in pretty much any room. A proper sound absorbing ceiling. So it's the walls that we're going to deal with now primarily. Now, in a conference room, usually you have a whiteboard or a TV screen of some kind. So what you can do is, when you mount, let's say you're mounting a whiteboard on this surface here. What if you could just mount it a little bit angled, to just a couple of degrees, so you get it like I'm trying to draw a wedge shape here, something like this. It's angled into the room, so that sound that hits this whiteboard is going to be reflected in the whiteboard, and it's going to go up. Maybe it takes another bounce in this wall, and then it goes up into the ceiling and is absorbed. So that's a good way. When you angle surfaces up, the sound is going to bounce in the surface, and it's going to go up into the ceiling, and it's absorbed in the ceiling. So that's a really good way, because you need a whiteboard anyway, probably. So why not make it work together to get some improved acoustics as well? And the same goes for a big TV screen. Let's say you have some 75-inch huge TV. Maybe you can just angle it, just to get rid of these plain parallel surfaces in the room. Because when you have parallel surfaces, the sound will be reflected back and forth between these surfaces like this. And if they are exactly parallel with each other, the sound will just be reflecting against back and forth these two surfaces. But if you just angle them, let's say this is from the top. Let's see, we look at it from the side like this. The sound is just going back and forth in the room like this. And it's pretty much the same thing as if you would have two mirrors, and you take a flashlight, a torch, and you just point it in one of the mirrors, and the light is going to be going back and forth, and you're going to get this effect with your eyes. Same goes with the ears, by the way. It's just bouncing back and forth like this. And then you put your whiteboard here with a little angle alpha. So what happens? Bam, and it goes up, and it's absorbed into the ceiling. It makes a huge difference, a really small angle. Even in and then the smaller the room is, the more you have to angle it to get the effect. And if the room is larger, then you don't need to angle it as much. So whiteboards or television screens, you can angle them. And of course, maybe a television, it's not optimal perhaps to angle it in this direction, because usually you have like a table here where you're sitting. All the people are sitting, and then they're going to look at the TV screen on this wall. Then it's not perhaps the best thing in the world to do it like this, because it's going to look a bit strange. But sometimes if you mount it a little bit higher, maybe you could make it angled up here. Just a little. A little goes a long way. Because that could be even improve perhaps the line of sight also. And you would get rid of some of the troublesome reflections. However, there's always compromises involved with these things. And I mean, if you're having an online meeting with other people, it might be preferable if the person you're looking at on the screen, if they are on the same height as the other ones in the room, because that's a bit more natural way to. I'm sitting down like right now, and if I have a web conference, it would be appropriate if I were looking at people on the other screen and their faces are on the same height from the floor as my face, and that is a problem when you put a screen up on the wall. It's not a natural way to sit like this and speak to someone else, and maybe they are doing the same on their side too. So that those effects also needs to be taken into account here. But yeah, you do this because you could also use wall sound absorbers. Let's put some absorbers on this wall perhaps. Or you could have some heavy curtains if there is windows involved, but just try to make sure that you don't have parallel, wrong color, a room with plain parallel undamped surfaces, because that'll result in worse acoustics. Do something about at least 2 of the sides in the room should have some kind of treatment. So this could be absorbers here, and this could be an angled whiteboard or an angled TV. And that's all I had for today's little acoustic crash course. And in today's video, I'm wearing gray and burgundy and a bit of yellow here on my pocket square. When I was putting this outfit together, I felt like wearing this little pocket square. It's one of my favorites. It's burgundy and gray, and I got burgundy and gray, so why not do it like this? But actually, it's too much burgundy. There's not enough. This one looks a lot better in my eyes. There's something becomes strange with the symmetry if you do it like this. When I have let's say I have a burgundy tie, I don't like to put a burgundy pocket square as well. It could have some elements of burgundy, but in this way, it's like the dominant color on both of them, and that's too much. And I don't look, what's it called, asymmetric. It's not pleasing to the eye. Whereas this one, it works better. I don't really know exactly why it is, but something just feels right when you do it like this. Because often when you buy these cheap tie and pocket square sets, they're usually with a matching fabric. And I steer clear of that. I do not want that, because the only reason that they sell them like that is because it's cheaper to produce. They have the same fabric for both of them. But style-wise, it is not a good idea. So, have a nice weekend, and we'll keep it up with another Q&A and a lot of more Q&As next week. See ya.